This is just an array of mistakes. It's all good.
No more technical difficulties, alright?
We're doing great. Anyways, the race has begun. So I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty close race between the runners. Has done maybe a bit more bingo than Philly, but they are both incredibly good at this game. Both have pretty good any percent PBs. And I think we're going to see a great show from both of the runners.
Yeah, they both have really good game knowledge. Like, AzHarcos was in Red Bull Faster. He did really well.
Philly has done some All Moons and Darker Side, so that's definitely going to help his game knowledge a lot. I don't know how experienced he is at bingo, but just running longer categories in general is going to help him in the long run.
This board, though, let's have a look at this board. So we have 3 Grandpa Moon Seaside, 4 Grandpa Moon Seaside, and 5 Grandpa Moon Seaside.
That's a lot of ground pounding moons in Seaside, even.
Also 10 moons in Seaside, so maybe Seaside might prove to be the play here.
Yeah, we could potentially see some amazing Seaside synergy with all of those goals. Let's see if there's Snow Seaside locked. Well, considering there's 4 goals already with Snow Seaside, I have a feeling they are Snow Seaside locked, but let's just look over the board just to make sure.
I can see a route that they could do without going to Seaside. But Seaside could be worth it, you know, like
Seaside could still be the play. Yeah, there is one route that allows them to early finish. It is C1, BLTR, and row 5.
Yeah.
5 story moons means that they could potentially do this before Metro. There are exactly 5 story moons. I see Captain Toad lost, so that's out of the question. Not going to be able to finish before loss. Purchase 5 moons that will require a revisit. 7 timers. They're probably going to have to get Peace in one of the kingdoms. And I see 10 moons from sub-areas in Metro, completely ruining the whole thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't like that route very much.
I think you could do 10 sub-areas before Metro. Oh, wait, never mind. It
has to be in Metro. Like, that's the goal.
Yeah, alright. Okay. So,
okay, all of a sudden, I do not like this route at all.
Listen. 10 sub-area moons in Metro ties in very well with the 18 sub-areas in total.
That is very true. So I have a feeling they are going to finish in Seaside. I don't see any reason why they would do all of this work to go for an early finish that literally... It still has to go to Metro, and once you get to Metro, you still have to fight Wiggler and then do the 10 moons in some areas. So, like, I see no reason for the runners to do this potential early finish. There's only one, isn't worth it. So let's reattract our attention to the potential Seaside routes that these runners could be thinking.
Yeah, I think if I were these runners, I would look at the rows that have 2 Grandpa Moons in Wooded and 4 moons in Deep Woods. Because there are more than 2 Grandpa Moons in Deep Woods that you can get. Like, you can capture the tree, you can break the blocks with the dino, and that will give you 3. So I think those squares are nice, like maybe both column 2 and column 4, like, because then you have the
combining it with the ground pound moons seems like a very good play as well.
Yeah. I think the only thing I'd want to avoid from those rows could possibly be 45 regional coins. Now, I do like the regional coins in Cascade, but they can be sort of like out of the way and can take a bit of time to get.
Yes and no. If you want to leave Cascade immediately without doing anything else, then yes, I usually wouldn't say regional coins are worth it in Cascade, because obviously if you don't need anything else, you're literally just going around the kingdom just collecting those coins.
Yeah.
I think in this case, though, it's worth it, because I see 7 timers, I see 45 regionals Cascade is the center square. Like, you could definitely work that in, and it could work out very well for you.
Yeah, I think it can work in, but, you know, like, I mean, you don't even have to go into the long 2D area, so it could be worth it.
Neo's sad that there's no World Peace Metro on this board because he's telling Philly to avoid it. Very good advice. World Peace Metro is not the play 9 times out of 10.
There is also 3 Captain Toad moons on this board, which would be good for 45 regionals, Cascades, because you could play that in with going back up to the timer challenge and then getting the purples and
Very
you know
much
getting
so.
the Captain Toad moon. So that
The 7
can work
timers
really
makes the
nicely.
regionals way more worth it.
Yeah,
Because they're going to be going around the kingdom doing those timer challenges, potentially.
yeah. There's there are quite a few regional goals on this board, like Lost and Cascade Wooded.
You know, for a
But
seaside finished board, this is actually a pretty nice board. There's a lot of synergy
yeah,
to go around here.
yeah, like I feel like the goals are not really centered around one kingdom. Like I feel like Seaside is definitely worth to go to. Like if you
Oh,
only have to
seaside is
go to Seaside,
100% worth going to.
yeah. If you only have to go to Seaside for some checkpoints, then I'm like, oh, that's so annoying. But like on this board, I think because it's so nice that the Grandpa moons and then like the total moons tied together, plus there is a timer challenge in Seaside, you know, it could
There is a
play
timer
into
challenge in
your
seaside,
favor.
but it usually isn't worth going for unless if you need 8 bits as well, because it's out of the way and it's kind of slow.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the options there. Like, if they didn't
Of
want to
course.
do a revisit, or if they didn't want to do like Sand Piece, then you can be quite tight for timer challenges.
Of course,
Um,
100%. Without
so
that cap
it is an
revisit, you are
option.
very tight with the timers, but I could actually see the cap revisit being very worth it here, potentially.
Um,
Potentially.
I think cap revisit would be important if you were doing for the Captain Toad Moon,
Yes, that's
but
true, because you can get
uh,
Captain No Cap relatively
uh,
easily.
I'm not sure if I would go back to cap unless I wanted some extra sub areas. Like, if I was unsure of like the metro sub areas, I think I would get some extra sub areas in cap to make the 18, but I don't know. I don't think I would go back to cap for any other reason.
Yeah, right now, the
On this
route that I'm
board.
looking at is C2, Row 1, and BLTR. I like the synergy with the sub areas. I like the fact that there's only 3 ground pound moons in Seaside, because you can literally... You only have to get 3 in any percent, obviously. Obviously, you wouldn't do any percent, but they're kind of scattered across the kingdom, and there's 3 right on the shoreline that you can get.
Yeah.
So, with this in mind, that 3 ground pound moons in Seaside would be very easy to get. And again, the sub-area synergy with Metro, very nice. Timers, not really an issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
You can even, get that 7th timer in Seaside that you mentioned without revisiting Cap.
Yeah. I definitely think column 2 is a good play to be making.
C2
And
is very
then
nice. But there's
yeah.
also just a lot of really good synergy on this board.
Yeah, I also really like row 3 because I know a lot of people dislike doing 18 moons from sub areas in total because it
Wait,
takes
row 3?
like a lot of forethought, like I have to do this sub area because this sub area is fast and
No,
you
yeah,
know.
of course. With 8 built in, with 10 built in, though, and only having to do 8 more, though, I can definitely see
Well, it'd
sub
be
areas
4
being more
more.
than worth it on this board.
Yeah, because like if you did like I mean this is like 9 total sub areas like you You don't have to do one in Cascade, and the Cascade ones can be quite slow, so you can
This
just
is an
leave those out.
incredibly interesting town regional route. I've never seen it done like this. Huh.
Um,
That's
yeah,
very
the way that
interesting.
I think most people do it, oh, well, how I do it at least, I start on the umbrella, and then I sort of go right, and then go round the bottom, and then
Yeah,
come back up.
yep.
But yeah,
And
that's
then
interesting.
and then you end with overlooking the town.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much how I do it as well. Because you can get the bird and the hint art as well along that route as well. Because the bird is timed like almost perfectly.
Yeah, like the bird comes over here at exactly the right time, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Something kind of funny that I didn't know before is if you wait a little bit for the cutscene to play out, the bird's still moving during the cutscene. So you can literally get the bird right as you're grabbing the hint art. Just by watching the cutscene a little bit. It's not optimal at all, but it's just really funny.
Yeah. I think it's strange how a lot of things seem to like pause when you like do cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
So
The way
yeah,
that
I think
generally
that is
works
funny.
is things move in this game if they are, like on, like if they're in the camera view, they will move in this game during cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, this game has a very much like a out of sight, out of mind mentality. Like it's just so weird. Like I don't know because in games
Yeah.
like Mario Maker you have like the 16 block rule,
Mhm.
and then this game it's like if it's not on the camera, I don't care.
Exactly. Literally, if something isn't like on camera in this game, it just doesn't exist. Like, don't even try.
Yeah,
Checkpoints,
it's
forget it. Moons, forget it. It's so
yeah.
annoying, but you
I
really do
think
need to pay attention to your camera.
I think the most notorious example that I always think about when it comes to like the camera in this game is when you know when you do that moon under the bridge in Lost and you sort
Yeah.
of like die in it, so then you try to back it up without triggering Klepto, and then you
Oh
sort of go at
no.
it from the other side, and it's
Oh
like it's
yeah, and then you just go
literally
right
not
through
there.
underneath the bridge, and you're just like, wait, what
Yeah.
happened? I know I grabbed the moon. Oh
Yes,
no.
this game is kind of unforgiving in that aspect.
Yeah, you just really need to pay attention to your camera control.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright. Well, with that in mind, both of the runners are just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, they're kind of taking sort of similar thing, but Philly is getting a
I
capture.
have a feeling that was an accident. I don't think that was intentional.
No, because you don't go that far out of your way normally in like any percent. Like you
He
don't usually go
He
there.
actually
Like
could have done that for the 22 unique captures, capturing the binoculars, but
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
definitely wouldn't
thinking. I
capture it
think
there.
he's looking at 22 unique captures.
I wouldn't have captured them there. There are multiple places that you can capture the binoculars that are way faster.
You, I'm pretty
Lake
sure you can
Metro being
also
the ones in mind. And if
you
he's
can
going to
also get
Seaside Binox is also fast.
like get 22 captures without it, but
Oh,
I don't
100.
think it was an accident. I think it was just like, oh, they're right here. I might as well do it before I forget, because he might be thinking, oh, I might forget if I like think, oh, I'm going to Seaside. They're very optimal, but by the time you
That's
get to
true.
Seaside,
And
kind of, yeah,
Philly might not be familiar with the amount of captures that he needs to complete, within the kingdom progression, because that's like
yeah,
something that's very bingo specific.
yeah. I
So
feel
even
like
though he
that's
has
also
good game knowledge, he doesn't know how many captures he absolutely needs to finish by Seaside with 22.
yeah.
So he might just be
22
grabbing
is
everything he sees in first sight.
if he's going to Deep Woods, then 22 shouldn't be a
Oh,
problem.
22 won't be a problem at all if he's going to
Yeah,
Deep Woods. Which he very likely is. There's very good synergy for it on this board.
yeah. Um. So yeah, I think it's interesting that Billy went up to the Rams Tower, like,
Chat is
probably
actually
for
talking about planting seeds. I mean, it's on the board. It could potentially be an option. There isn't a lot of synergy with it for like everything else, but planting seeds generally isn't slow, and you can get fast moons out of it if you do the clock manips.
yeah.
So
Um,
I'd argue it's an option.
sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why Philly's doing the route he's doing in sand.
We're actually seeing Az pick up a seed right now, so that confirms that he's doing row 3 or C4.
You know, I can believe that this seed that AzHarcos picked up is actually slower than the other seeds that's like off, like sort of to the left of the kingdom.
I
Um,
I actually
so
disagree with you. I prefer this seed way more than the other one.
I do prefer this seeds, you're right, but I was told that the other seed is faster, and I don't believe it. Like, I think someone should like time them side by side.
Dude, I'd love to see a timing of someone carrying the ruin seed versus the cliff seed.
Maybe it's because the other seed, like, there's more hills, so you can like throw the seed and it will roll. I don't know. Yeah, I'm unsure.
But yeah, even though this is a very nice board with a lot of synergy, we do have to point out that this can also be a really big, like, hindrance for the runners, because they could still potentially be deciding what's best here. There is so much synergy that they might still not know what is the best route that they could be going for.
Yeah, I think this is one of those boards where you start with your route and you think this is good, and then you realize later on, I am an idiot. I should have done this route.
I should have done this one instead. But
Yeah.
that also makes this one of the more interesting tourney boards that I've seen throughout this tourney. Because there's nothing really bad with any of the routes that you can do here. There's really good synergy across the board. Pun intended.
Yeah. It's actually really interesting how close these runners are. Like, they pretty much, well, they didn't do the same thing in stands, but they're still pretty close together, and like they're both going into late at the same time. So that just shows how close this race could be.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I do think Philly's sand route was interesting. I think he should have done any percent apart from the shock moon, because that's what I saw him buy.
Potentially, yeah. Both of them handled sand very differently, actually.
Yeah, they did. Like, I think that's interesting. But
I think that's because Az had the planting seeds goal in mind.
okay, yeah, I just realized what Philly's doing. So he went up to the top of the round tower for the story moon. I was like confused. I was like, why is he going up here? Then I was like, story moon.
That concerns me though, because he only needs 5. And if he's forced to go to Metro already, there isn't really a reason.
Yeah, and if you're
get
going
that
to
one.
Seaside as well, then 5, then you wouldn't necessarily need that story moon. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's a weird one. Maybe if we get him for an interview, we can ask and be like, "Yo,
Hey, why did you grab this? Oh, because it was on the way. That's it. That honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably their answer.
yeah,
It's just like, oh, I climbed the tower. It was there. Okay, cool. No forethought required.
yeah." I don't know.
And, you know, sometimes that's good in bingo. Sometimes it's best not to 100% think about every single decision you're making and just let your movement flow throughout the kingdom.
Oh, what is
And just
AzHarcos
grab
trying to do a tram strat with this fish?
Oh, this is cool. I love this. Is he gonna get it?
Oh, no.
It would have
I
been
bet
so
the fish
cool to see
can be
that.
there.
Oh.
Yeah. So looks like we can safely say AzHarcos is looking to do column 3 and not column 3, row 3 and column 3.
Yeah, this
okay,
board
yes,
is a pretty quick seaside snowboard. Actually, I should just say seaside. There isn't even a snow
Yeah.
goal on this board. This is
Yeah,
a very quick seaside finish board.
Yeah.
Could potentially see like a 46 or a 45, depending on how well the runners play.
Yeah. So, yeah. Billy might be doing the
Oh, he's
diagonal.
definitely doing Locketsu fishing. We know this much.
Yeah.
There it is.
Getting the fish RNG.
Very clean fish. I think that was the first bite. Hard to tell though, since, you know, we don't feel his rumbles, but I'm pretty sure that was the first bite. So, very lucky fish on Philly's end. Though, as pulling a little bit ahead in kingdom progression.
Sorry,
We know they're
funny.
probably both going to Seaside, so this could make things a little bit interesting. Philly showing off the late clip.
I think he's doing it for the checkpoint. Yeah. He just
He
marked
did
it
it
off.
for the checkpoint, really?
Yeah.
That's all he did it for?
I mean, it makes sense. Some more.
Why? No, that didn't make sense at all.
I mean, it would, actually, it would have been faster for him to purchase the moon.
I guess he's just that confident with late clip that he was just like, yeah, I'll just do it.
Why is
What
he
the heck?
getting extra moons?
He's collecting more moons.
He's
because
doing
he's going for
16
that.
moons in
Okay,
lake.
now I
I
understand.
understand.
Now I understand why he did that. He's going for 16 lake. That's why.
Okay.
Okay.
He's also getting the timer charge.
Fusion over.
Alright. Yeah, this makes sense.
Mhm.
We're
This
fine
makes
now.
a lot more sense now. So, C1 is pretty much confirmed for Philly.
Yeah.
We've seen him gun for captures. We've seen him whack a 2-fish, which is a goal on the BLTR. I think he might be going for that early finish that we mentioned.
Yeah, maybe.
While as Saul that probably wasn't worth it and going to Seaside, I would also go to Seaside on this board.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting who's going to come out on top, because it really is going to be a fight once, we see who's a bit closer kingdom progression-wise once they arrive in Metro.
Yeah, I think it will all sort of come sense later on.
100%. Because the
I
amount
do
of time...
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Nah.
Okay, you go.
I do think 60 moons in Lake isn't that bad, and
No, not at all. It's a pretty fast moon goal.
so I think Philly's thinking was that doing these moons would still be faster than going all the way through Metro and then doing Seaside. Alright, you go.
Stop talking about Philly. Stop talking down Philly, Dan's game. Alright, Neo. You got it, dude.
You go, Philly. It was just
Philly.
funny. It was funny. At the start of the stream, I was like, swear I'm not being biased towards Philly just because I have a sub. And then, like, this entire time we've been saying, oh, that's an interesting choice, Philly.
Oh my
so,
goodness.
yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. Az is, again, in Wooded. Philly's finishing up Lake, but now that we've almost completely confirmed that Philly is going for that Metro finish, that is going to make things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Such a comparison.
Now Az is playing a race against time since he needs to progress a bit more in Metro. Though if he's not going for the sub-areas at all, he could just any percent.
Yeah, I think the only sub-area that's kind of worth it in Lake is the one with, like, the fuzzies. Like, with the chests, maybe? Actually, I don't know. I think the key one is alright as well. So,
We're talking about... Wait, what moons are worth it in Lake?
Like, the sub-area with the fuzzies and the treasure chest moon? And then there's also the one with the key moon.
Jump, grab, cling, and climb.
I don't know the English names. I'm playing Chinese.
Yes, I can definitely read Chinese. I don't already know that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know about, like, I think they're definitely more worth it than the Metro, the wooded sub-areas.
Oh yeah, wooded sub-areas are generally slow except for Pipeway. The Moonshards Rocket is also okay, but the other two kinda suck.
Yeah, he could also just not be going for 18 sub-areas total.
I have a feeling he's not. I have a feeling what AZ or Az is going for is, I think he's going for row 3, C3, and TLBR.
Yeah, I think, he's just gonna
get I add, has incredible security. I'd argue that's the fastest route on the board.
Why?
Well,
present your argument to the chat.
Of course. So he has all of his ground pound moons within the route for Seaside, so he's getting 3, 4, and 5, right? Yeah. He has the 8 moons from Nuts, which isn't a problem at all if he's just any percenting Wooded. Well, he's not any percenting Wooded. He's doing the 8 Nuts, and then he's going to be dropping down into Deep Woods to get the 3 ground pound moons. So, or wait, no, never mind, I lied. He's not doing ground pound moons and Wooded, I don't think. No, he's not.
No, he's
just
did
doing it
because...
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, he did have ground pound moons and Wooded. He already did it, though. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's right, he was in Deep Woods. I remember now. So he already did that. So he's mostly doing any percent. for these 8 nuts. And then, like I
Yeah.
said, has all of the ground pound moons in Seaside in his route, which is very nice. He has Captain Toad Lost built in, which works well with the 3 Captain Toad moons, which, by the way, isn't very much. You can very easily get 3 Captain Toad moons. Which is why I was questioning why he decided to do Captain Toad in a Wake. That's kind of one of the slower ones, if you really think about it.
I think it was. Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense because he could have very easily just gotten the one in like Metro and then
I
Seaside.
guess it's because he missed the one in Cascade. But then, the one in
could be-
Seaside is still relatively quick. You can do it with Gushin movement while doing ground pound moons. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, those are my arguments why that route's probably the best one on the board. Because the only thing he's really going out of his way for is seeds. Everything else is aligned perfectly.
Yeah, I do think his route is good.
SpeedGaming 2 rating with a party of 56 viewers. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the bingo match. That's
if you guys don't know what's going on, this is Mario Odyssey triple bingo. The runners have to get 3 lines of diagonals, columns, or rows, with the objectives marked on the squares. And the first one to finish, well, obviously has triple bingo, and they win. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So like I said, I do think AzHarcos' route is good, like
Oh, 100%. That's right.
because you can get 2 seeds in Metro quite fast, and then
the 5th
the
seed
one in Seaside as well.
That 5th side in Seaside is nice because while the building planter one in Metro isn't like horribly slow, it's also not great. It's more like that one that like, oh, in order to get 5 by Metro, I have to do this one, so whatever. I'll just do it because like it's okay. It's an okay moon. I don't like hate it. It's just
Yeah. I think a lot of runners aren't comfortable with doing planting seed goals because they don't know the movement. Like that kind of movement is the sort of thing that you'd probably only do in like all moons. So I can see why a lot of people might think, oh, that's too slow, or like that they kind of avoid it. But siege moons aren't that bad at all, especially if you get 2 in Sands and then 2 in Metro, and then if you go to Seaside anyway, then it's not bad. But if you need 5 before Seaside, I think that's when you sort of have to think, well,
is this worth it?
Yeah, like getting all 3 seeds in Sands. I guess it is sort of slow because you have to sort of
usually
go
you
out
would
your
do
way.
usually you would do 2 seeds in Sand and 3 in Metro.
Yeah, like I dislike the 1 by slots. Because I feel like the movement that you do is just kind of weird, like, and plus you sort of have to deal with like the taxis, whereas in Sand you don't really have that much in your way. That's why I think I'd be more inclined to do 3 in Sand and 2 in Metro. But I don't really know which one's faster. I guess it's probably preference.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it comes down to as well. It's just generally a preference at that point.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm on Team 3 Metro Seeds versus Team 2 Sand Seeds.
I guess we're on opposite teams
Yeah,
then.
In fact, I don't know anyone but you that, decided to go
Oh,
on.
okay. It's a me thing.
It's not it's not a split like Topper first versus Harriet first and Bowser's.
Yeah. Maybe I should be asking around, like, so, are you free seed in Sun Gang? Are you free seed in Metro Gang? Also, that's really hard to say. Free seed in Sun.
3 seeds in Sand Gang. Oh my goodness. This is definitely
Anyway.
a commentator's joke.
Anyway, looks like AzHarcos is getting ready to leave
Yeah, he's just
Lost.
ripping apart these kingdoms, leaving Lost before the 30-minute mark on a seaside finish. This is insane pace.
Yeah. When
We
at the
legit
start,
might see a sub 45 seaside finish.
yeah, at the start of the run when I was saying that AzHarcos is good, I wasn't kidding. Like he's improved so much in
He
any
is
percent.
very
Like
good.
it's crazy.
Mhm.
He just has so much good movement.
Yeah, he's been practicing bingo a lot as well. I
Yeah.
think that's definitely what's going to give him the W over Philly here. Not saying Philly's bad or anything. Neo,
No, like I said, I thought this match would be interesting. I definitely thought it was going to be really good because of Philly's knowledge,
Mhm.
and then
And
Arcus's
Philly
like,
still has the knowledge.
skill.
Like, he's showing
Yeah, he
off
does.
what he knows very well. It's just
Yeah,
has found, like, an incredibly good route here. Again, this was
yeah,
one of
for
the...
sure.
There were so many options, but because of those options, you might overlook something even better than what you already found. But as
Yeah.
piece together this board, perfection. I really do believe that we might see a sub 45 Snow Seaside here.
I mean, we'll just have to see how long it takes him to do Metro. Like, I mean,
Yo, I
all
never
he has
actually
to
said Philly
do,
was bad.
all he has to do is plant 2 seeds
Yo,
and like do some any percent, you know. And that's what Isaac strength is at the end of the day. It's just doing any percent, and that's what most of his route has been like. It's been like combining what he knows with his skill from doing any percent
he's been
practice.
able to
So,
piece together a really, really clean route with small deviations from the any percent.
yeah,
And
but
that's
I
definitely
admit,
what's happening here. It's so clean,
I
the movement that he's doing. So it's like,
I'm officially lost again.
why are you lost?
Why is Philly doing
I guess because he
the
doesn't want to revisit Cap, and he realizes that
yeah?
he can't get 7 timers otherwise. I don't know why. That's the only reason I...
So
This was
so
not
you
the...
think he's doing World Peace Wooded for timers?
Yep, that's
I mean,
exactly...
it's possible, but
Literally can't get 7 without a revisit to Cap. And it's possible
yeah,
he doesn't know this, but he knows that
um,
timers once you get World Peace.
I think timers are difficult to route in if you don't know where they are. Like if you don't know like your 7 timer challenges and then which ones you can get like before and after piece, it can be pretty bad. But
Yeah.
I don't want to be too mean, but I
Yeah,
think Philly
apparently we've
just
already been incredibly mean to Philly. I don't think we have been, but Neo's like ripping us apart about that.
I mean, it's good that he has a knowledge, like the knowledge that there are timer challenges that you can only get like post piece. But
Yeah.
it would be faster to just revisit. But if this is what he's comfortable with, like Philly's done so much like World Peace Wooded recently, like been doing AUM, you know. I guess you get into the habit of doing like a World Peace route, so
Yeah,
it could
100%.
just be what he's comfortable with.
It's
With,
just
with
with this in mind, he still has to do Cloud and Lost, and once he gets to Metro, it's not like he can just finish. He has to fight Wiggler, he has to do the 10 moons from sub areas, so I just don't
yeah,
see a way Philly can come back from this.
yeah, I think like I said, as Harkos,
As has the
um,
luck.
he 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 can do Metro pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like after
Like,
he's
it's
planted these
mostly
two
any
seeds,
percent, but
yeah,
like with small deviations, and like what more can you ask for being a top level any percent runner? Really.
yeah, he has a 101, but
We're
Philly
even
does have a
seeing this clip
103.
here. So like just wow, dude.
Yeah, like Philly has like they're very close in terms of like time. Like they're only like 2 minutes apart in any percent. I
Yeah,
think
doesn't
what
Philly
came
have
down to I think what came down to this race was thinking about your route and like thinking, all right, I'm gonna do this timer challenge, and I'm gonna do this.
Again, I don't think the route Philly chose was necessarily bad. It's just this board has such insane synergy with the seaside finish that I just don't see any other reason to not go for it.
Yeah, I think I would have done Philly's
This is
route because I
very
have like this aversion to going to seaside. I'm like, oh, day metro and night you know, I'm
But
just like, you
but the
know.
thing is, and I pretty much say this in almost every match that I commentate, the early finish is sometimes not worth it, and you have to argue with yourself, is it worth it when you're first picking your routes?
Yeah, I know. I think AzHarcos, he actually made like the bingo thing where it tells you what res
Yeah,
to go for, and
did miss
that
that.
basically relies on the finish. So for him to sort of go against like what he made, I think that's good. That he
I
can
don't
sort of say, you know,
yeah,
that's an early finish, but I don't think it's worth it. Like,
yeah. I mean, the
I,
thing is, I don't think he necessarily went against what he made. He made that tool for other people as well, so, like...
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if he knows that generally finishing early is better, like obviously it's not true all the time, but
Oh,
to
yeah,
sort of
definitely.
go against that is kind of impressive and shows that he has like depth in like his logic as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's never clean cut if the early finish is worth it. Sometimes I'm arguing with myself, like, 5 minutes into the bingo.
Yeah,
No, it.
it's like when we see like I commentated a match earlier that made you do like world peace in Three Kingdoms, and I was like, is this
Yeah,
early
Lucid versus
finish
Cage, right?
really worth it? And I guess it was because a lot of those boards don't have any objectives in Metro and like maybe two in Seaside, so you sort of have to go with your instinct and think, you know what? I might just have to go out of my comfort zone there and just do the world peace route because not a lot of people are familiar with doing those routes, you know.
I can tell you both of those runners that were playing that match earlier were more than familiar with the World Peace route.
Yeah, like Haze and
Being an
Lucid.
incredible darker side runner, Lucid just being incredible at the game in general.
Yeah,
Both of them have incredible knowledge on those routes, so
yeah. I
I
think
don't think
if
that was an issue there.
if I saw any other like let's say like the average bingo player, I think they wouldn't have gone for world peace routes just because that they
Dude,
they
Ford
wouldn't
is
necessarily know how to do that. I think I think it's hard to say. Like it's very easy for us to say as like commentators or like people in chat saying, "Oh, this route's the best," but when you're playing the game, I think it's infinitely a lot harder. Like I do rows that I know that are like slow because I'm like, oh, I know how to do this, and I don't care that it's slow. And as Harkos
no,
accidentally
oh,
clicks no.
guys, no. Why don't people know that mashing B on this menu lets you pick between snow and seaside? No,
Yeah,
that's so unfortunate. He was on insane base.
sorry, I just
Oh,
saw someone in chat say, uh,
that
yeah,
hurts.
Aaron in chat was saying that's what Philly's doing. Yeah, I think Philly's just doing what he's most confident with, and I
No,
can't fault him for that.
Aaron, the sad part is I think this can still sub 45 even though he did that. This board is absolutely insane. Like, I think we're
Yeah,
still going to see like a 43 from Az here.
I don't think it should take that long to get the
No, it doesn't.
grandpa move
Ah, that
and story
sucks though.
moves.
Dude, this
It
could have
it does.
literally been the fastest snow seaside finish ever. It might still be, to be honest. Dude, this is like the board of the ages. Board is absolutely nuts.
I do have the seed if people want to try it themselves. Oh,
Multiple
yeah,
routes
let me
have
put it in
gotten
chat.
46, 47 here, but Az just found the one that completely breaks the board.
Yeah. So for the seed, for people not watching on Twitch, probably on YouTube or something, it's 48, 43, 17. So if you want to give this seed a go, then feel free.
Yeah, this would be a very cool seed to run.
But yeah, I can't believe it.
I know I've mentioned this before, but this is a great tourney board. It really puts decision making to the test.
Yeah, you have to sort of
I just don't think
decide.
all boards, put that type of mindset to the test because either the route is already given or there's just not given, but it's obvious that there's an early finish that's way better than any other route on the board. Versus, actually deciding snow versus seaside or early finish versus seaside, and then just the insane amount of synergy on this card just made you pick your brain like, oh, is my route actually the best?
Yeah, I
And
think
it's really something I want to ask Az, did he go through several routes before committing to this one? Like, he could have been midway through Sand and might not have decided till then.
yeah, I think it is hard to say.
Which may
Oh,
be
and
why we saw him grab Captain Toad and Lake.
sorry, can I just comment on AzHarcos having pretty good game knowledge here, because he was getting hint arts and he knew exactly how many coins he would have to buy those outfits. I think
Yes. So,
that's pretty good game
with
knowledge
that
to
in
have.
mind, he decided to just purchase all of his costumes in Seaside, knowing that for a fact he really wasn't going to need to purchase any other costumes because you can buy 5 with coins. He just, did 1,000 coins and that was it. Oh, he didn't have a
Yeah.
5th story mode. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that was
Yeah,
kind of...
because I think he did New Route,
Musician
Metro.
Metro?
Didn't get Story Moons in the New Route, maybe.
Did he do any musicians in Metro?
I don't think so. I don't remember
Huh.
seeing him do musicians, but
What?
I'm
Well,
just
that's kind
thinking
of
what other Story Moons he would have gotten if he didn't. He must have done. He must have done.
Oh my goodness, dude. The fact that this is still sub 45 with a few kind of small ratting mistakes plus the accidental snow just blows my mind. This board is absolutely ridiculous. I honestly wonder, could this sub 40 if you pre-planned everything?
Yeah, maybe. I might even put this in the Discord and say, hey, this looks like a really fast seaside
It
route if anyone's interested in giving
Yeah.
it a
For
go.
those that don't know, we used to have a weekly bingo thing where someone would just post a card and we could pre-plan the route beforehand, which added an interesting twist to bingo because usually you're routing on the fly. But if you can route everything beforehand, you can get some pretty fast times on cards that you wouldn't really think possible.
Yeah, I actually
This
really
is definitely one of those.
like that idea. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing in the past, and I was even like, I really wish there was like this thing where like people race like the fastest card or whatever, and whoever got like the best time.
Yeah, we had that, but it
Yeah.
was, pre-planning the routes.
Yeah, and it looks like AzHarcos has finished the
He is
race.
done.
So
43,
GG's
44.
to
I
AzHarcos.
could... Is that actually the fastest snow seaside finish?
I don't know.
Oh my
But
goodness. He
definitely a
completely
fast
decimated
forward
this
for
board.
AzHarcos there.
He completely decimated this board.
Yeah. Now let me put this in the
Yeah,
bingo.
he played so well. That board was so fast that it was actually faster than my early finish that I did yesterday and lost. Oh my goodness. That's disgusting.
Neo said he got a 42. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you just played the
definitely
card?
doable. Yeah, Neo just played the card.
Neo was like, I'm playing this card, screw watching the match. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I think AzHarcos, if you wanted to come in for an interview, you'd be welcome. Oh, I think he's in the setup actually. Yo,
How's
AzHarcos.
it going?
Hello.
So, you played that incredibly well.
Except for the snow selection.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that.
Someone had to do it. Someone had to do it in this tournament.
For future reference, you can mash B on that menu, and you can pick between Snow and Seaside.
I know. It was so much any percent that I just went into mashing A, as I do in any percent.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about my Seaside routings, so I really wasn't focusing on it.
No, I understand completely. You were in the heat of the moment. It's completely understandable. But besides that, you played that so well. There were like a few small routing mistakes, like not having 5 story moons out of Metro that probably could have been fixed. But like besides that, like I don't know. I didn't see too many flaws with the routing. And you picked like literally the best route on the card, 100%.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty fast Seaside. I don't think I've ever seen such a fast Seaside finish.
I would argue that this was the fastest Snow Seaside finish.
Yeah, really good synergy.
Insane synergy.
And so much any percent.
This board was faster. Like, you played this board faster than my lost finish yesterday. I got a 44-31 on a lost finish yesterday.
Yeah, it's also faster than my lost and my wooded finishes in my earlier races.
Yeah, I guess this, again, shows that if you have the any percent capability and there isn't too much deviation from any percent within the route, you can just destroy Snow Seaside boards.
Yeah, I mean, even better any percent runners could have gotten sub 40 easily on this one.
Oh, 100%. If you pre-plan this, you could get a sub 40 Snow Seaside. It's
true.
Absolutely insane. Like, this is easily the fastest Snow Seaside board I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, a few questions for you, actually. Was this your original route?
Yeah.
This was your original route?
I saw the ground pound moons in Seaside and tried to combine them. And yeah, I already had these lines in Cap Kingdom, actually.
Oh, wow.
AzHarcos just showing off, like, yeah, I had this pre-planned
No, I was just happy that the ground pound moons combined well, so I just stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I only realized later how good it actually was.
It's like, I feel like this was one of those boards, since the synergy was so insane all the way around. Like, there were so many routes that could have sub 50 here. Like, this was definitely one of those boards where you may have had a route initially and then changed midway during sand to find something better. Because it was just that many options to choose from.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, anyway, Philly
how's it going, Philly?
has forfeited with a PH at the front. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I just have to make that joke again.
Oh no, please do. It's my brand. Go for it.
It's his brand.
Let's see. So before this, I've only done a couple bingo cards.
Yeah. I was actually about to ask that, because I know that you have insane game knowledge due to all moons and darker side, but how much bingo have you actually done?
I have done 2 cards ever in my life. And then I asked for like some more last second advice, and they're like, yeah, try to avoid Seaside and Snow if you can. I was like, oh, this board, I can find this way that can route it out completely. And then I'm like sitting there like looking at the board, and I'm just like watching ads, and I'm just like, yeah, I should have routed it in, I guess.
Oh no, dude, that bites so hard, because this is literally the opposite situation.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean it is. What it is. I wasn't coming into this one expecting it. I'll probably do practice before the other ones now, because don't really want to go out in the group stage necessarily. But
assuming you have other matches, yeah, you're probably gonna be fine.
Yeah, I played the I played wooded very poorly. I do know that, because I looked at timer challenges and I was like, oh god, I have to finish world peace, because otherwise I have to do world peace in Metro, and I didn't want to do that. So it's just like,
did you think to revisit Cat for that timer?
nope.
Oh. Well, I mean,
That's a good idea, though. Thank you. You should join in my my stream next time. Be like, hey, Philly, there's a nice cap revisit you can do.
I mean, honestly, Philly, don't feel too bad because literally, I feel like every single bingo I do wooded is an absolute disaster. I still can't route that kingdom to.
I was just trying so hard. I was like, okay, let's hear world peace, and I was like, okay, so deep woods, and then I'm gonna do 8 nuts, and then I'm just like, oh my god. I was like, and then I'm buying a moon. I'm like, I'm already gonna go over my quota of just like what I need for any percent. Then I'm doing world peace on top of it. And and honestly, my worst one. Oh, I had enough captures. Oh, I should have marked it. I didn't even know that. Okay, cool. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah, that was actually the other thing that I was thinking about. Obviously, captures and like knowing how many captures you can get throughout the kingdoms is a really specific bingo thing. And only doing 2 boards in the past, I'm kind of surprised you went out of your way to do that goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here now realizing I had 23, and on my paper where I was tallying, I listed 12, so I think I was a little off myself. Not gonna lie. But you know, I mean, it happens. I had a fun time.
No, yeah, and honestly, that's what this is all about. And I think even though you took the L, you still put on a very good show.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for putting on a better show, though, because you gave what the people deserved. I gave what the people wanted, and that was some flops and some fails.
As absolutely
Give people what you deserve.
Can we just point out how impressive a 43-44 is on a snow seaside finish?
That was the other thing. Like, I was literally looking at that with as well, right? So, I'm in Metro, and I'm looking at the board, and I'm like, okay, this might come down to the 22 captures, depending on how well I play Metro. And then all of a sudden, I see Az just ticking, like, block after block off. I'm just like, yeah, never mind. This is ending in a minute, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Yeah, the thing about this board was you definitely had to sort of think in advance. Like,
This board was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think what you did, Philly, like, when I saw you in snow getting the story moon on the round tower, I was like, come on, Philly, you sort of need to think about, like, what you're going to do. Because in Metro, there's so many story moons, and then if you're going Seaside, there's even more story moons. So you didn't actually need that story moon, and you could have just, like, done 10% sand. So I think, like, you just sort of need to be like, okay, I have knowledge about this, so I'm gonna do that. I mean, I think you were sort of doing what you were comfortable with, which I think is fine, especially if you're new to bingo, but you sort of have to sometimes go out of your comfort zone, because like, if you always do what you like want to do, then eventually you'll just get a board and it's like, I know nothing about this. So
yeah, I was shocked when the board didn't come with a PowerPoint for me to follow, because that's what I'm used to. It's like, where's my
Someone make that happen, dude. I'd be impressed.
Yeah,
I
don't know. The cheat sheet is always there. Like, if you want to peek at it at a race, no.
Well, that's what I was doing too.
I don't really think that was the issue here, though. Like I said, Philly has extensive game knowledge. It's just how does he apply that to bingo?
Yeah.
That was not necessarily.
I think you improve very fast.
To apply it.
Yeah. Like, I think the first bingo board that I did, it was like 2 hours, and then like the last match that I did, I improved it by like 45 minutes. Like, it's crazy how like just doing bingo. Yeah, thank you. It's just crazy how like you do bingo and it's like, I don't know, you sort of gain knowledge for stuff you thought you didn't needed, like captures, for example. Like, I never would have thought that I would need to know like where 26 captures are, but you know,
I'm still sitting here stunned. I'm at 23 right now. Like, I don't know where
yeah, that's honestly impressive. Captures always scared me when I was new to bingo.
Yeah, it's a really beginner trap goal, because you're thinking, oh, I can totally capture 26 things throughout my run. And then you get to Metro and you're like, oh, I have 12.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the opposite for me. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I only have 12, but I'm at 23. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're chilling. Okay. Great.
Yeah. I feel like when you're a beginner, there's a lot of stuff that you like miss. Like in Metro, like obviously you've got the pole, you've got like the manhole and stuff like that. you've got the taxi. Like, there's so many stuff that you don't capture in like any percent, and you're like, oh, there's actually more captures here than I thought. But yeah,
Well,
26 captures is
eventually-
pretty hard.
Well, you would have eventually captured that taxi if you were doing Under Siege and within your 10 moons from sub areas.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't
that was one of my
necessarily
sub-areas I was
that
gonna do.
sub-area, but yeah.
Personally, not my first choice for a sub area in Metro.
Yeah.
See, that's
I'd-
the art
I'd
thing. I was like, I don't know
probably
which
go
sub areas to go to. That's why. That's why I was like, I'm just gonna forfeit now because I don't feel like walking around Metro figuring this out either.
Philly. Honestly, though, like, with you being an all moons runner, you could really blitz through that sub area easily.
Oh yeah, yeah. The blitzing through them is not an issue. It's just actually picking the optimal ones if I
Yeah.
need 10.
Yeah, personally for me, that's not my sub area of choice, but hey, if you know how to do it, more power to you.
Yeah.
It's a really tough
Yeah.
sub area to do correctly.
Yeah.
For
Alright,
sure.
so, with that in mind, do you guys have any other final thoughts?
Nah, GG's as freaking
GG's.
insane run. So
Thanks. Good luck on your next races. I'm sure if you play a few boards before, that you'll do great.
thank you, I appreciate it. Are you done? Is this your last? Was that your
Yeah,
last?
that was my last. Yeah,
Yeah, nice. Is that sweep for you? Did you go 3-0?
yeah, it is.
Yes. All right, cool. I feel
Very
better
nice.
about that. Let's go. Freaking pop off. Good luck next round. Hopefully, I'll see you there. Maybe.
Thanks, man.
Maybe we'll encounter again.
Maybe in the finals.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
Alright.
Totally.
Dude, round 1 of brackets is gonna be a bloodbath. I feel like no matter who you get paired with, it's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and again, make sure you follow the runners. They're doing great. You know, they're worth following, right? Come on. They just spent an hour playing bingo for your entertainment, and that's worth a follow.
And follow the commentators, because if you don't,
Oh,
I'll be
no,
upset.
no. Don't follow me. Follow Agron if you want. I don't know.
I
Do
mean,
you
I don't
stream
stream
Agron?
much, but hey, when I do, cool.
Yeah.
See,
I'm
you don't
just
want to
like,
miss that. You don't want to miss that cool moment. So make sure to drop the follows.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And see you all later. Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.